Welcome to episode 3 of Behaviour Besties.
I'm going to go for no coffee.
Really? I'm the only filthy one who loves to shout out, dance around the room, yell for connection.
For me, it was a lot of just checking in with them regularly, just a smile across the classroom.
Saying what they need, but in like a positive way in that group setting. This is where we do this.
So it's about moving it forward. We're setting that boundary and moving it forward. Look, not every day is going to be our best day, but I still got your back. Welcome to episode 3 of Behaviour Besties, aka the staff room that you want to be a part of. Woo! I'm here with my girls, Evie and Tan. Hey, girl.
Hey.
Let's start with our game. Today we're doing a little would you rather. Okay. First one. Would you rather drink someone else's coffee
I'm so glad you said coffee.
or have no coffee for the day?
No coffee.
Oh, she's got the hygiene. She's the COVID kid. What about you, Tan?
I'm going to go for no coffee.
Really? I'm the only filthy one.
Have they already drunk out of it?
If it hasn't got lipstick on it, if it's got lipstick on it, I'm like, oh,
But
maybe
have
not.
they already had a little bit?
Maybe they have, but I'm thirsty.
Yeah,
Nope.
but no. I can
Fine.
do with the
Fine,
headache.
I'll be the only filthy one. Okay. Would you rather a mini fridge in your classroom or a coffee machine?
Is all the coffee that comes out stuff that someone's already drunk?
No, normal coffee. It's all of my lipstick glasses.
Fridge for the snacks. You know me.
I'm going coffee machine.
Really?
Yeah.
I would get snacky with it, 100%. Because people are
That's
going to
true.
be in there queuing up for your coffee machine. And I haven't got time for that.
That's true.
Okay, would you rather a 4-day week all year long or keep our holidays the way they are?
Holidays.
Holidays. Forever, babes. Forever. Tan?
I'm going for holiday.
Yeah. I'm not giving it up.
Mm.
We can do what we want. We can have a little gap year.
Yeah.
We can go to Thailand if we want.
Gap weeks.
Sorry, are we going to Thailand tonight?
Okay, which of these? I've said did. So you might be thinking back to your first year of teaching. Which of these did you need the most? Oh no, as a child or a teacher, you choose. A calm space, more movement, or more connection?
I'm going to go with movement because the only 3 lessons I remember included a movement.
Gal got to move.
Yeah.
I think connection for me.
Connection
I
for me
love
too.
love.
Me
And
too.
Oh,
Yeah.
I love love.
thank you.
I
Yeah.
love love too. I feel like it just makes I'm suddenly remember the lesson if I feel
Yeah.
like seen within it.
Yes, feeling seen is,
Yeah,
I put effort into that, but no one's looking at it.
exactly.
Yeah.
What about as a teacher then? As a teacher, if you could choose to have any of these in the classroom for you, what would you go for?
When we
Same.
first started, what would you say?
Right now.
Connection.
Yeah, same. I think, again, I'm still putting in the effort in different ways.
I think I would go for a calm space. Your gal needs to regulate.
Yeah.
I would really enjoy just like a space. Do you know what? I saw like a TikTok or something where they had like a safe room. Has anyone seen that one? They have like a soundproof glass one in an office and they just go in
Oh, I
and
think you
scream.
shared that.
And I was like, sometimes you just need that throughout the day. You just need a little,
Sometimes you need to scream.
you need to protect your energy and you've got to do what you've got to do.
But then also connection can enable that calmness in someone as well. If you've got
Yeah.
that connection.
She's ready for the debate.
Yeah, if you've got someone that you connect with that you can vent to.
Lovely.
Mm.
Beautiful.
We're here for it.
All right, let's go to our question of the week. This is from Erin. She said, I have a lot of kiddos being influenced by / egging on one student in particular with a lot of support needs who loves to shout out, dance around the room, yell for connection. Unfortunately, these students give him the connection he wants in that moment. And so all the other connection strategies we try aren't super successful because he's getting what he wants in the moment from other students. We tried conversations with the other students, whole class strategies, etc., but they can't help but turn and laugh and stare at him when he's dancing around the room, singing and yelling in the middle of the lesson. I feel like there's 2 parts to this question.
I know, now that you've read it.
So first of
Yeah.
all, there's the child.
Yeah.
And I love that Erin said connection seeking
Yeah.
because the legacy term for this, as we know, is attention seeking. But we don't use that in TGMC. We know that attention seeking is actually seeking for connection. So it's looking at this child, but then it's also having a look at the situation with the class and the fact that they are responding to that child and it's causing disruption. So let's first of all think about that child. What does that child need? I'm going to start with you, Tan.
I think that we need to bring that energy, that movement aspect of things, that into the classroom. So it might be whether you plan for it, or it might be I don't know, can we say websites?
Yeah.
In this? Yeah, like there's like Go Noodle and things like that. So like that brings togetherness and that connection between students as well. So I'd say bring that into what you do day to day. So it's not seen as just one person doing it. And it's just something that we do collaboratively. We move. This is the way we express ourselves. Because for that student, for me, it's like, how do we know that that's connection-seeking behaviour? What evidence do we have of that? And I would dig a little bit deeper and look at the bigger picture as to why. And then I would say bringing that togetherness together.
Can we have a little flick back and think about that child? And have you ever had a child like that in the classroom? The connection-seeking child?
Yeah, in a different way, though, I think. Not so much in the requiring it from their peers, but requiring it from the adults in the room, which obviously brings different challenges, but still ones that need to be addressed in similar ways, I guess, still bringing the energy in a different way. For me, it was a lot of just checking in with them regularly, just a smile across the classroom and you're doing amazing. Like just that every few minutes, all I had to do was just look over, and that was enough that they were like, yeah, I'm seen. And I think it's very different, but again, it's still that they're looking for that connection just from different people.
Absolutely. And I think with this behaviour, I have a few different views about it, because whenever you go into any classroom, you will see that connection-seeking behaviour. As the teacher, it's like, let's just say it, all right? It is annoying. As a teacher, experiencing that is annoying. But actually, when you think about it in a different lens, how much do we always love that child? I always think this child's going to be famous. Like, this child is just great. They're a star. And I think what we have to do is remove our emotional response from it, because this type of behavior triggers an emotional response, and that's okay. We need to remove our emotional response from it and then think, okay, what is this child seeking? Now, I love what you said, Evie. You were saying finding alternative ways, and that's key. Finding other ways that they can get that connection. Do you know what? One of the most powerful things I ever did as a teacher was to record myself teaching. And I had a connection-seeking child. And what I noticed within the video was I kept saying their name in a kind of reprimanding way. It was like, Tan, come on. Tan, get your pen. And as soon as I saw that video, I was like, that's it. That child is just trying to have some connection with me. And the only one they're getting, even though it's still giving them something, is a negative one. So I just completely reframed it. And again, we're going back to that burger framework that we talked about in our self-esteem episode. It's looking at getting ahead of that. What are we doing today? Or having that well-being check-in with them. If there's something you need to tell me, is there another way they can say it without shouting out? Non-verbal signals, checking in with them on the carpet, with looking at their whiteboard, using proud posts. So it's about finding alternative ways to give that connection so that they're not going to the last resort, which is often shouting out, dancing, songs, things like that, which, to be fair, most of the time I'm here for. I'm here for a little ad hoc song. So, Tan, you were talking about team building games.
Yeah, I think in my experience, it was a group of children presenting the same behaviours, and it was like connection building between them. So team building was always a great way forward, and then the teacher leading that. And I know we've got a TGMC video on groups and working in groups as well that you can have a look at. And that's when the teacher or an adult or supportive someone labels the behaviors, like, wow, you guys are working so well in a team. I can see that there's some movement there as well, like saying what they need, but in like a positive way in that group setting. This is where we do this. This is where we get our movement, where we share our energy, where we can communicate with each other as well. That was a big win for me, because as you said, you can feel like you're losing control sometimes. You're not sure what to do. But and I always say, like, when you are introducing these strategies, there's always going to be a little spike in those behaviors because they're still learning. It's like a process that they have to go through to be able to make it that habit in the way that we do things. And again, environmentally, the way life is, we go through so much in different things day to day. So there may be dips, there may be some times when children need that connection. And it's just about acknowledging that and remaining dynamic and consistent at the same time.
So we've kind of looked at it in two ways. We've got those overarching whole class strategies, right? So we're looking at team building, community, group work. Children are not going to have those social skills straight away. So we do have to explicitly teach it. And I think group work is so key to that. So I love that you said that, because I know in my first years of teaching, I was like, there's no way I'm getting them in groups. We're staying by ourselves. We're staying silent. And I feel more in control that way. But when we do that, we really reduce the opportunities of them actually learning. We have to give them the opportunities to develop those skills. We have to teach them what group work looks like, what community looks like. And then we also talked about those individual strategies for that child. If they're connection seeking, how can we give them that connection before they're seeking it? So another thing I wanted to talk about was then looking at I would imagine, group of children that are just loving life and using this as a little mid-show in the class, which it seems like Erin's finding really tricky. So I think this happens a lot. You know, have you ever had just like a few children and it feels really overwhelming, doesn't it?
Yeah.
You kind of have the realization of like, I am outnumbered here. When there's like 3 or 4 of them, you're like, oh no, it's just me here. So I get this a lot from members, and I always say divide and conquer. You cannot just tackle those 4 at a time. Those children need to be seen as well. Those children might have different needs as well. Those children need to be supported as well. So think about it instead of, oh my goodness, because when you're standing there, it can be really overwhelming, can't it? A child's making a noise. Those children are having a lull. I'm outnumbered. So divide and conquer with those children. What can we do to support them? And I would honestly go back to our parent episode and just nip it in the bud. Talk to the parents, talk about what's going on, think about what actions you could have moving forward. It might be seating plan, but more often than not, it's those children want to be seen as well. They want to have that sense of belonging in your classroom as well. And actually, it's another type of connection seeking behavior from them. So if we can find the way to be like, all right, Evie, I know you're having a bit of a lull, but listen, we're about to do column subtraction. And I know you love column subtraction. Let's do what you do, baby. You know, if we can twist that positively and support those children to engage in the lesson rather than what they're seeming as a show, that's how we move forward.
It's hard sometimes, but it is, like you said, it's reflecting on your own teaching practice and not necessarily looking at it in a negative way, but thinking, right, be honest with yourself. What can I do? Instead of just getting frustrated, instead of thinking, why are they doing that? Hang on. What can I do to help them? That's happened so much that you talk to that child and it's, okay, we know that this isn't looking like our picture perfect group work. We've practiced this. What can we do? And actually, how am I going to help you do that? Instead of me just getting frustrated with you and saying, why is this happening? What are we going to do? It's revisiting that.
Yeah,
I think.
Absolutely. And I think with this type of behavior, as I said, it can be really overwhelming. Like, who gets overwhelmed in the classroom? Yeah, gal. And I think when that happens, for me, I get flappy and I start trying to seek myself control. And often my instinct for that is, do you know what? I'm going to raise my voice and I'm just going to be like, okay. And actually, that doesn't work. We create friction in the classroom and we can start a negative cycle. We respond to that behavior by creating a negative cycle. So one thing that I've said, and this is something I trial daily still, is calm scripts, private calm scripts. So if you feel that you've got 4 children popping up here, you've got a child who needs support there, rather than trying to tackle it whole class, get everyone on an activity, whether it's partner talk, draw something on your whiteboard that we've just talked about, whatever, get them on an activity and then privately have those calm scripts. So if you're new to calm scripts, it's the TGMC strategy by our emotions coach, Ginny. We love her. We love her.
Yeah.
And calm scripts are associated with emotion coaching. And Ginny created this acronym. Is it an acronym?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's the
So
one.
thank you. So C is connect with that child. As we have said in every episode, it's about being seen and that belonging. That's the most important thing. Because if someone starts talking to you about what you need to change straight away, you're not listening. So it's about connecting with that child, acknowledging how they might be feeling in that moment, but then setting a limit. Boom, boundary. We're not behaving in this way, but we are ending with our M, which is move. How are we going to move the behavior forward? And I swear to you, I do this every lesson now because you still have situations with behavior that you're like, oh, feel rattled. And I'm like, calm. This is what it might sound like. So I always start with the name because I think that's great for connection. It might be like, Evie, I see you, babe. I know you're excited. That's the acknowledge. Limit. But we don't stand up or call out in the classroom. Move. What we can do is have a little movement break if we're all feeling excited. Just like you said, Tan, whole class strategy if it's lots of people. If it's just Evie, what we can do, Evie, what we can do is chill out in the calm space. Have a little regulation time, okay? What we can do is, do you want to start your work with me? Okay, so it's about moving it forward. We're setting that boundary and moving it forward. And you can do that individually or you can do it as a class. But what's key with the class is we're not naming names. We're not being like, so I know we're excited, Evie.
Always.
But we can't shout out, Evie. It's still like moving everyone together. So should we do a summary?
Let's.
Okay, this is what we got, Hans. So it's about bringing that energy in a different way. It's about looking whole class wise at community through team building games and through group work. It's about dividing and conquering with children and using private calm scripts. So should we head on to our TGMC mantra for the week? Okay, our mantra this week is, at the end of the day, we all just want to know if people will love and accept us on our worst days. Thoughts?
Love this. Yeah.
Needed.
And I think really needed for this episode as well, because when we see that type of behavior, as I said, it's a human reaction to feel frustrated or annoyed, but it all stems from that place of love and belonging. And you look emotional, Evie.
I just think that children are so accepting of you on your worst days, almost more so than when you feel at your best. The amount of times I've said to my class, I'm not feeling the best today, but like can we help each other? Let's do what we normally do. Let's do this. And at the end of the day, they check in with you, and it's kind of a role reversal,
nice.
but it's those moments of pride when you think, actually, I've done some good here because we're working as a team. We are a team. Our class is the family that I'm hoping it would be. And yeah, for me, it's just that. And that's what it's all about.
And I think that's really beautiful. And where we can make a space where children can say that to us.
Yeah.
And where we can accept, look, not every day is going to be our best day, but I still got your back.
And your worst days, like that mantra said, like that's your way of saying, I need to give myself that space and I need to step back and reflect. It doesn't mean you need to keep going and applying, and just give your time give yourself that time to put things in and just take back and reflect on it as well. And I think building it over time will really help.
Shout out to all the babes listening. We'll catch you next week. For more behaviour support, you can find us at the only behaviour encyclopedia in the world. What's it called?
TGMC
at www.goodmorningmissfoster.com/TGMC. Bye, babes.
Bye.
Bye.